Alright, we're going to talk about perimeter and area of similar figures. So it really doesn't matter what the figure is. These rules are going to apply to whatever the figure is. And if we're talking about perimeter, we're talking about polygons. So let's just start with a rectangle. And let's say we have sides of 4 centimeters and 12 centimeters. So if you do perimeter, that's 2 times length plus width. So our length and width are 4 and 12. So our perimeter would equal 4 plus 12 is 16 times 2. So our perimeter would equal 32 centimeters. Now, if we have a similar polygon, and let's say it's 3 times as big. So we're going to make this rectangle 3 times as big. So 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. So again, you do the same formula. Perimeter equals 2 times length plus width. So my perimeter equals 2 times 12 plus 36. Perimeter equals 2 times 12 plus 36 is 48. And then 2 times 48 would be 96 centimeters. And what you'll notice is if I take my original and multiply it by my scale factor there of 3, I'm going to get my new answer of 96. So anytime you're working with perimeter, you just take whatever that scale is and you multiply it to get your other figure. So let's look at another example of that. So we're starting here with the same 2 rectangles, the 4 and 12 and the 12 and the 36. But this time we're going to look at area. So area equals length times width. So area would equal 4 times 12. 4 times 12 is 48. So my original area would be 48 centimeters squared. For my second one, area equals 12 times 36. So 12 times 36 is 432. Alright, so if you look, my side lengths I multiplied by 3, but I can't just multiply that 48 by 3 and get 432. So whatever your factor is, that, or the ratio between sides, so here I had 12 to 4 for my ratio, that reduced down to 3. Whatever this ratio is, you have to square it to get the area. So 3 squared would be 9. So if I take that 48 and I times it by 9, I'm going to get 432. So if you're talking perimeter, you just use whatever that ratio is and multiply. If you're talking about area, you square the ratio and then multiply. So let's give an example if we just have the numbers. Alright, so ratio of sides is 20 to 12, and I want the ratio for the perimeter and the ratio for the area. So you just take that ratio. I gave you 20 to 12, so we're just going to write that as a fraction. And when you're talking about ratios, you want to reduce if you can. So I can divide both of those by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So my ratio is 5 to 3. Now to get the area, I have to take that 5 to 3, and this is why you want to reduce them, and square it. So 5 squared is 25. 3 squared is 9. So my ratio for area would be 25 to 9. And you just take each of those ratios and multiply it by your perimeter or multiply it by your area to get what your new one would be for the other figure. If you're going from small to big, you multiply. If you're going big to small, then you would divide. So just depends how you're using that ratio. Alright, so let's put that into practice. So I gave you two triangles there, gave you side length, and I gave you the area of one. So make that ratio. Just because I've done this for a long time, I'm going to make my ratio 57 over 24. Now I can reduce that. Both of those are divisible by 3. Getting sloppy there. There we go. Divide them both by 3, and I'm going to get 8 over 19. Now since I'm doing area, I got to take that 8 over 19 and square it. I wrote that backwards. It should be 19 over 8. Alright, so I'm going to square that. So 19 squared is going to give me 361. 8 squared is 64. So I take that area and I'm going to multiply it by the 361 over 64. So I'm going to do 361 over 364 times 564 over 1. So 361 times 564 is going to give me 203,604 over 64. So divide that by 64. And I'm going to get an area of 3,181 rounded. And that would be centimeters squared. So that would be the area of my bigger triangle there.